all night. The result is, in New York State Medicaid, the New York Times estimated that more than 10% was paid to crooks. And when I say crooks, I mean a medical doctor, a dentist who filed for 982 procedures a day. The Russian mafia in durable medical equipment in Los Angeles. We're talking about genuine theft, not recording errors. The people who set out to steal. Now, how much does that come to? Remember, I said over 10% of Medicaid, 0.03 of 1% in American Express. That means, as a taxpayer, you're more than 330 times more likely, 33,000% more likely to pay for a crook than you are as a cardholder. That comes to between $60 billion and $110 billion a year that we spend as taxpayers paying crooks. So when Congress tries to save money, I've tried for 6 years, we wrote a book called Stop Paying the Crooks, just to try to get across the idea that the first thing they ought to do is go to a modern, computerized payment system. And that would save literally $60 to $110 billion a year, which is, I think, more than all of the student loan payments in the country. And just to put it in context of, we can't figure out a way to solve the student loan problem, but we can figure out a way to pay crooks. And that requires thinking differently, because you're now talking about fundamentally changing the bureaucracy, the bureaucrats. So one of the things I'm proposing for a platform plank is that we would replace the 130-year-old civil service system with a brand new management model called Lean Six Sigma, which modern companies use all the time. And any of you who are taking business classes have probably encountered. And the difference is, under Lean Six Sigma, you actually define the job. And in order to keep your job, you actually have to do the job. And this would be a tremendous break for the bureaucracy. So it's a fundamentally different approach. Let me give you a second example. The country of Chile in 1980 adopted a personal Social Security savings account. Now, we know it works because we've had over 30 years experience with it. What's the result? If the young people here were given the option of having a personal Social Security savings account, so they took their half of the tax money, they put it in an account they controlled that invested in savings for them, and it built up compound interest their entire working life. The result would be, by the end of their working lifetime, they would have approximately 2 to 3 times as much money as they're going to get out of the traditional system. Furthermore, because it's real savings, it's not a transfer payment. If anything happens to them before they retire, the money goes to their family because it becomes an estate. Whereas today it goes to the federal government. If you die today, all the taxes you spend, all the taxes you paid in Social Security goes to the government, doesn't go to your family. Furthermore, if you have that build-up of savings, you dramatically increase the size of the economy. The estimate is that at the end of your lifetime, the economy would be $6 or $7 trillion bigger than it will be without this kind of program. And the reason is simple. You suddenly have a huge supply of capital. In the case of Chile, last year, the savings accounts were 72% the size of the total economy. Now that means that there's literally billions of dollars in Chile. There'll be trillions here. Excuse me.